We've been doing
No, but listen, but there's never been action like this. This is crazy. I mean, we're getting higher ratings. They're getting higher ratings on those press conferences.
Would you seriously consider stopping these press sessions?
No, we do it in a different way. We do it through a piece of paper with a perfectly accurate, beautiful answer. I'll give you an example.
In writing.
They're asked 100 questions or 50 questions or 20 questions. If they get 1 out of 50, just a little bit off, 5%, 10%, 20%, it's the next day it's a front page story in every newspaper.
Right.
Now, so press conferences weren't even covered for Obama practically. They were on C-SPAN and C-SPAN 2 when, there was nothing going on.
But will you put an end to them?
These press conferences are like the biggest thing on daytime television.
They are.
Okay? You see the ratings. They're blowing away everything on just about, I think, everything on daytime television. What I'd love to do is stop them. It's not fair to the people. I'll give you, look, I am a very active person. I have a lot of very positive things going on right up here for this country. It's impossible for a person or 2 people or 3 people who are press people to cover every aspect of what I'm thinking and what I'm doing. And I think it's unfair. And if they get it just a little bit wrong, they don't mean to. They're liars. They're horrible people. They're liars. The press goes. And it becomes a big story for 2 days or 3 days. And it's very, very unfair to a person in that job. I think that's really a tough job, to be honest, especially for me, because I'm having meeting after meeting. I'm cutting the price of the airplanes with Lockheed. I'm cutting the price of airplanes with Boeing. I'm doing all of these things. I'm making deals for China, with China. I'm trying to solve a problem in North Korea, which, by the way, is a really big problem.
But are you moving so quickly that your communications department cannot keep up with you?
Yes. That's true.
So what do we do about that?
We don't have press conferences, and we do...
You don't mean that.
We just don't have them. Or unless I have them every 2 weeks and I do myself. We don't have them. I think it's a good idea. First of all, you have a level of hostility that's incredible, and it's very unfair. Sarah Huckabee is a lovely young woman. You know Sean Spicer. He is a wonderful human being. He's a nice man.
Is he your press secretary today and tomorrow? Will he be
Sure.
tomorrow?
Yes, he's doing a good job, but he gets beat up.
Will he be there tomorrow?
Yeah, well, he's been there from the beginning. I mean,
is he in the where they say it's in the woods? Where did they say?
No, he just gets beat up by these people. And again, they don't show the 90 questions that they asked and answered properly. I'm saying it, if they're off just a little bit, it's the
when
big story.
Will you make a decision as to whether or not
the difference between me and another president? I won't use names, but do what I'm doing. They really don't. I'm not saying that in a bragging way. I'm not saying it anyway. Another president, Jeanine, will sit in the Oval Office and do practically nothing all day. I'm doing every minute of the day. I'm doing something. I'm cutting prices. This nation has such unbelievable potential. The thing is, they can't keep up with it. And I'll be honest, they do their best. If they give an answer, and if it's a little bit off, they're liars and horrible things. Okay. It's really unfair. I would recommend we don't have it.
When will you make that decision?
Over the next couple of weeks. I'll tell you what, they'll be very unhappy because the ratings are so high that I don't know what these networks are going to do. They're going to start to cry.
Let me ask you this,
Mr. President. They get free ratings because of me, and yet they don't treat us well.
Mr. President, here's the bottom line. You've got this Russia story that is causing... Cory Booker said the other day the Russians are coming. I thought it was 1950 and I had to run under a desk. Cory Booker ought to get his address right where he lived when he ran for mayor. That's what he ought to do. Why, he didn't live in the right place? But let me finish the question. Let me finish. So, wouldn't it be better, because all of the successes that we can talk about are being overshadowed by this Russia story...
By fake news.
To have an independent commission. You were convinced. You did nothing. And
I'm not convinced. Clapper is convinced.
DNI.
Other people are convinced.
Yes.
Everybody's convinced.
Everybody said the same thing.
They say there's no collusion.
Get it out of the White House.
They're all saying there is no collusion. There is no collusion.
Precisely.
Well, I'd like it to move fast, if possible, but I'll tell you what I really want. There is no collusion. We have nothing to do with Russia and everything else, but there is a question. Was it Russia? Who was it that went in and tried to hack? Now, there are other questions too, Jeanine. why didn't the DNC, the Democrats, why didn't they allow the FBI to check their server? They wouldn't allow them to check. And why didn't the FBI insist on checking it?
All three very, very good questions, folks. Questions that every one of you need to ask yourselves. Why wouldn't the DNC allow or invite the FBI to come in and take a look at their server, which had been hacked? Why didn't the FBI insist? Trump makes very good points there, folks. And that's what I'm getting to later. Just keep listening.
Yes, sir.
They have subpoenas.
They have very powerful subpoenas. So Podesta, who, by the way, has a company with his brother
in Russia.
In Russia. I mean, those are the ones they should be checking. But with all of that being said, what I want, and I think it's very important, I want to get to the bottom if Russia or anybody else is trying to tamper or play with our election.
Okay.
To me, that's very
so
important.
So get it out of the White House. Do an independent commission, and then you can get your agenda out there.
But all it is more time. I'll tell you what, you have it before you have it before the House and you have it before the Senate.
Right.
I know some of the people on those commissions are they're very ethical people, very talented, very smart people. I think let them just do it. You know, they've been doing it for a long time. I'd love to see
they may never be finished. How do you prove a negative? How do you prove that you weren't involved? This could go on for 10 years.
I think it's been proved already. And to be honest with you, I want it to be accurate also. I want them to devote the time they need. I'd like it to go fast, but more important to me, much more than speed, I want them to be sure that Russia or anybody else, that if it did happen, if there was any, and everybody also agrees, by the way, it didn't change the election.
Right.
It didn't change the vote. So that's important. That's important to me. But I don't want it ever to be even a question again. So if it takes longer, let it take longer, but let them do the job.
At the risk of the country not being able to see your successes. Look, we're coming up to January of 2018. We're talking midterms soon. Unless we get the promises to the American people, health care, tax reform, how are you going to do that?
Well, I'll give you an example. I mean, we made that incredible deal with China last night at 11 o'clock, right? And the front page of the papers had more to do with unimportant stories than that, okay? And I think that's very unfair.
It is, but you can't change that unless you take it off the table.
Well, I think it's going to be off the table as soon as they announce their result. Hopefully they announce their result quickly. I'd like to see it quick. But with all due respect, I want to see it done properly. I don't want to be in a position where something took place having to do with Russia or any other country or any other person, who knows. But I don't want to be in a position where it's not done correctly. So let them do it correctly. Let them take their time.
You're talking about the House, the Senate, and the FBI.
I'm talking about the House, the Senate, the FBI.
So no independent commission.
I don't think you need it. I mean, honestly, whatever's going to do the best, but I don't think you need it.
But they're playing politics. Can't you see that? It's stepping on your success.
I see a lot of things.
Yesterday, the Department of Justice nullified the Eric Holder and the Obama marijuana drug policies. Yesterday, 1,400 gangbangers arrested in the biggest sweep in American history.
And you don't read about it the way you should. That's on page 10.
And all of this is being subjugated to ridiculous stuff.
Can I be honest with you? I think the people are saying it, though, Jeanine. I really do. I think the people, I have a very strong base of incredible people. I think they know what's going on. I had dinner with a group last night that just great people, great friends, and they come in and they're very angry about what's going on. They're angry from our standpoint. They're very angry about what's going on. I think the people see it. I think the people see our successes. Hey, look, putting the Supreme Court judge on within 100 days, and I don't mean just nominating, having him confirmed, and he's going to be great, and so many other things we've done. You know, they said we did no legislative work. We signed 32 bills. Jeanine, did you hear that? 32 bills. And they were saying a couple of weeks ago during the 100 days, we signed none. Not everybody was saying that, but some were saying it. We signed 32 bills. That means went through Congress and signed it. In addition, we freed up the system, which was all glued up, so that people can build houses and they can build factories and they can build so much. Our trade deals are about to come. They're going to be unbelievable. I mean, we're doing things, and I honestly believe that people see it. But there's no question, it would be wonderful to go fast, but I want it to be done right.
Next, who is the president?
There you have it, folks. That's a lot of progress in Trump's first 100+ days in office. I mean, they want you to think that Donald Trump should have already had 30 years of bad legislation and bad decision making and all these globalist ideas and all this legislation. It's been ass backwards, excuse my French, but it's been ass backwards for the last 30 to 40 years. All these bills to take land that don't belong to the government, or all these regulations to keep small businesses from succeeding. All these bills allowing illegal aliens to come here from other countries and not be deported. They've been letting all these quote sanctuary cities unquote succeed and keep going the way that they have been. I mean, if you don't see what's really going on, then you need to just go back to sleep and keep on dreaming, because the writing is on the wall. You just have to read between the lines sometimes.
For her to do a great job. And I think we have some wonderful candidates.
People suggest that the question that apparently the New York Times is selling, that you asked Comey whether or not you had his loyalty, was possibly inappropriate.
Listen to this.
Could you see how they could think that?
I read that article. I don't think it's inappropriate.
Did you ask that question?
No, I didn't. But I don't think it would be a bad question to ask. I think loyalty to the country, loyalty to the United States is important. You know, I mean, it depends on how you define loyalty. Number one. Number two, I don't know how that got there, because I didn't ask that question.
There you have it. More fake news by the mainstream media. The New York Times, which is owned by Bezos, I think that's who owns it. He just another propaganda network of the left, ladies and gentlemen.
What about the idea that in a tweet you said that there might be tape recordings?
Well, that I can't talk about. I won't talk about that. All I want is for Comey to be honest, and I hope he will be, and I'm sure he will be, I hope.
Okay, and so this new director of the FBI, will it be someone from within the ranks? Will it be someone like a lawyer like Comey, or have you had a lot of?
We have a lot of choice. Everybody wants the position. It's a great position to have, and we have extremely capable people. In some cases, people of great prestige. Actually, people who have had tremendous careers would like to do it. We're going to have somebody fantastic.
When do you think?
Fairly quickly.
Okay.
Fairly quickly.
And
I think we owe it to the public to do it fairly quickly.
And do you think the Senate will confirm?
Yes. Oh, yeah. No, I want to pick somebody that can be confirmed. Look, I thought that this would be a very popular thing that I did when I terminated Comey, because all of the Democrats